Hey everyone, it's PhD Simmer and I'm going to show you Pleasantview 20 years later. At least in my game, I've played 21 days so far. This is the end of the fourth round and I thought it would be a nice opportunity to stop right here and just tell you what has happened. So this is Pleasantview. You might notice some of the lots have been moved around a bit. I was very inspired by a video I saw by Connor. I'll link his channel down below, where he talked about moving the condos over to the beachside because he thought they fit in better over there. And I completely agree. So I went ahead straight away and moved mine. And then I've made this area a little bit more of a fancy, expensive area. These areas are sort of our middle price houses. And then we have the cheaper trailers and things over here and some apartment buildings. So I don't know if this is going to end up being more than one video, but we're going to start with the Lothario family, or the original Goff family home. So this is the Goff family home, currently owned by Cassandra Goff, and she lives here with her husband Don. And she's actually Cassandra Lothario because they got married quite a long time ago, actually. So they are still together, although very, very recently Cassandra saw Don cheating on her. So we haven't actually played the point of finding out what's going to happen. And I'm not going to save anything that happens in this video. So anything that happens might not be true to the story that continues on after this. But the house has been expanded a tiny bit. We have a garage now, and each of them have a car. Cassandra has her train set because she's into the tinkering hobby, and we got rid of the graves. They've been moved to the general Pleasantview cemetery now. I think we had a birthday party at some point in the last time I came into this household. But here's Cassandra, completely naked after getting out of the shower, of course. There is Cassandra. Yeah, she's very embarrassed because she was caught naked. So as I said, Cassandra did indeed marry Don. The two of them are 44 years old now, so they've had a marriage of around 20 years because they did get married very, very early on in like the first round that we played. And from Cassandra's point of view, it was quite a happy marriage up until very, very recently when she caught Don cheating. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen there. I did give her a college degree. She did physics following on from her father, and she's currently level 5 in science, but she's got a lot of points to go before she gets there. She's furious with Don at the moment. And she's got lots of friends. She's a secondary popularity sim. And so she's best friends with her daughter, Adriana. She's best friends with her brother, Alex. She's best friends with her mum, Bella. She's best friends with Mary Sue. And Uma Dyer, I think, is a work colleague. She's friends with Angela Pleasant. She's got quite a lot of friends, which is nice. But yeah, and she's still friends with Darren Dreamer. They kind of are not in love anymore, not having a relationship, and we'll get to why that is later in the episode. But Cassandra and Don, here's Don. Don is obviously a romance sim, and he's level 6 in the medical career. He's secondary knowledge, and he still needs quite a lot of skills, but he does roll once for skills quite often, so I'm quite confident he will get there. Everyone's in their pyjamas right now. Together they had 3 kids. The eldest is Adriana Lothario. She is a fortune sim. I don't roll secondaries for my teens until they go to college or age up to an adult, but she's currently an A+ student, and she has a part-time job in the medical career. She's an orderly level 2, so she goes to work with her dad. She doesn't have a romantic relationship right now, and she doesn't really have many friends, but she's best friends with Skipper Broke, and she's nearly friends with Marsha Bruno. But she hasn't really found anyone that she's really attracted to just yet, so she hasn't really had a lot of romance in her young years. Her lifetime want is to reach her career top and have 3 children on high level, so hopefully she'll meet someone and settle down. Then we have their second son, Victor Lothario. Here's Victor, playing with his cube thing. I don't know what it is. He's a family sim, so he takes after his mum. He's an A+ student, and both the kids are in private school. He's had some sort of falling out with his dad. He actually saw his dad cheating on his mum, so that's why he's really unhappy. He's friends with Marsha Brunegg. He's friends with Conrad Oldie, who's the adopted son of Coral and Herb Oldie, but they've passed away now. And he's best friends with Chandler Platts. He's close to being friends with Maximilian Goth, who is his uncle? Yeah, I think so. We'll have a look at the family tree. And yeah, he knows quite a few people, but he also does not have a romantic relationship yet. Neither of the kids have happened to settle down just yet. And then we have the youngest of the family, Leonardo, who is their Cassandra and Don's 3rd child. He's super cute. Let's get a closer look at him. Very, very cute. He's got Don's eyes, and I think he's got quite a lot of Don's face as well. So I'll tell you the ages. Adriana is 16 years old. Victor is 13 years old. He's only recently become a teen. And Leonardo is 3. We'll have a look at the family tree. So obviously we have Mortimer Goth. Bella was returned to Pleasantview in this save file that I'm playing. But Mortimer did marry Dina. They're not linked on the family tree anymore because obviously he's passed away. But he had Cassandra and Alex with Bella before she got abducted by aliens. He then married Dina, and they had 3 kids together. They had Maximilian Goth, Richard Goth, and Nova Goth, who inherited Dina's, I think, parents or grandparents' alien DNA skin tone. So she has green skin. But he also rekindled his relationship with Bella. Just before he died, they had a steamy time in the apartment, and she got pregnant and had Rosanna Goth. So he actually had 3 kids with Bella and 3 kids with Dina, which is really interesting. Adriana, Victor, and Leonardo also have a half-sibling, Marie Langerac, because Don cheated. He cheated with many women through his marriage with Cassandra, but he only produced one other child, and that was Marie, who has Kaylin's last name. She didn't give him Don's surname, and her name's Marie, so she's the half-sibling of these 3. Cassandra also has a half-sibling by her mother having, obviously, Rosanna, but also her mother had Amelia with her second husband, Jeff. Very confusing family tree. And Cassandra is obviously half-siblings with Maximilian, Richard, Nova through her father. So she's got half-siblings on her mother's side and half-siblings on her father's side, and then her full sibling, Alexander, as well. So I hope that was somewhat clear, but it probably was as clear as mud. But that's that household. So the main drama is Don, let's have a look at his relationships. He's in love with Dina, he's in love with Christy Stratton, he's in love with Marissa Bendette, he was in love with Kaylin. I'm surprised he hasn't gone after Bella, but he hasn't. He's definitely been with Nina at some point. I think they broke it off. I think she caught him cheating. He definitely went after Brandy as well. I feel like he woohooed with Brandy. Yeah, he hates Brandy at the moment. He woohooed with Brandy in the hot tub. And Brandy's new husband is this guy called Travis, so I think that's why he's mad at Travis. But yeah, he's been with many, many women throughout Pleasantview, and he's only just been caught. So we'll have to see if Cassandra forgives him. As a family sim, she may do. They've got a young son and 2 other kids together, so she might think it's worth staying together, or she might dump his ass. We'll have to see. And they're doing quite well. They got £80,000. They have spent quite a bit of money on renovations of the Goth Manor. This is Adriana's room. I'll give you a little tour. This is Adriana's teen bedroom. This is Victor's room. He's only just aged up, so I'll probably get rid of the castle and the kids' stuff. Here is the nursery. This is Dawn and Cass's bedroom. We have 2 bathrooms. Upstairs, we have kind of the hobby area. They've rolled various wants for toy making benches, drum kits, DJ booth, all sorts of things. And downstairs stairs hasn't changed too much. We have the dining room, the living room, the kitchen, and a bathroom. And then, as I said, we have our garage, and where the graves once were is now where Don's hot tub is. But yeah, I would like to see the teens get into maybe some teen romance, but unfortunately that has not happened for them just yet, but we'll see. So we're going to head over to Dina's house now. As I said, I moved her right onto the beach, and her condo has got expanded quite a bit over the years. She did marry Mortimer, and actually they had a very nice relationship for the duration that it lasted, and they produced 3 kids. And she hasn't really, apart from Don, she hasn't really moved on at the moment. She's a widow, and I think she's enjoying life raising her kids. She seems quite happy. She did have a falling out with her sister, Nina, but they rekindled it. Nina didn't think she was marrying Don for the right reasons, but she proved that she was. She was very happy with him. Okay, this is Dina's little condo. It's had a little expansion over the years. She's got her car out the front. She bought that with Mortimer's money, basically. Downstairs we have a living room. It hasn't changed too much, but it's just had a little bit of an update. Living room, dining, kitchen, and then an extra bathroom because this family really needed an extra bathroom. I fenced it off so the dogs could be outside. And then we have Nova's little bedroom here. And then the boys, her teen boys, share a room here. We have the bathroom, and then this is Bella's room. Not Bella's, oh my gosh, Dina's. And then up on the roof we have the hot tub, bar, and all that sort of stuff. So, can't believe I called her Bella. This is Dina. She's a fortune sim, and she is, I can't remember, she's secondary family, and I think that's why her and Mortimer got on really well and had quite a happy life together. She only really let her eye wander a couple of times. Once to Don Lothario, before her marriage to Mortimer, and probably during as well. But she also quite took a fancy to Malcolm Landgrab, probably because of his money, but that hasn't really gone anywhere because he's got married, and I'll explain to who later. So Malcolm has married, so she's not, unless she wants to break up that marriage, she's not going to get anywhere with that. But her lifetime want is to become a business tycoon. She's unemployed because she got fired. I seem to remember she got fired because I think she was doing okay in her career, in the business career. But yeah, something happened. We have her eldest son, Maximilian, just here. He's got Morty's face, for sure, and his skin tone. Maximilian is a family sim. Dina is 43, by the way, and Maximilian is 16. Richard is 14 and Nova is 11. My aging system is quite different, and some of the ages have changed. So don't compare them to what they would have been in the vanilla Maxis game. So Richard is a family sim, and he is dating somebody. He's dating Tosha Go, who's a townie, but she lives in the orphanage. He doesn't really have any other friends. He's sort of friends with Victor a little bit and Ricky Cormier, and he's friends with Rhiannon Burb, which is quite nice. He's an A+ student, and they're in public school, they're not in private school. Then we have Richard, who's the middle sibling. They did get Mortimer's genes, I think. He's got his mum's hair colour, though. Let's get a little closer look at his face. I think he looks more like his mum, but they both got their dad's nose, I think. Richard is a fortune sim. He wants to become Hand of Poseidon. And he doesn't look like he has a romance at the moment, sadly. He's best friends with his mum, which is really cute. He's not even friends with his brother. Maximilian he wants to reach his golden anniversary, so I don't know if he'll stay with Tosha, but they got 3 bolts together, which is pretty good. And then we have little Nova. She's so adorable. Nova is an A- student. She obviously just wants to grow up at this stage, and she got, again, I think the Mortimer nose is quite strong, but she's got blonde hair like Dina, and she's got green skin, which comes from her mum's side, and she's got green eyes, whereas the boys have both got brown eyes, I believe. Anyway, she's adorable. Nova's not far off becoming a teen. Couple of days. I'm quite excited to see what she's going to look like as a teen. I mean, Dina's got quite a long nose, I suppose. She did bring somebody home from work that she woohooed with. Yeah, she's got green eyes. So Nova got her eyes whilst the boys got their dad's eyes. So yeah, Nova's definitely got more of her mum's DNA. We'll have a look at the family tree, but there's nothing too exciting here. Nina Caliente is her sister. Nina had no children at the moment, and she's not married or anything. But yeah, Dina's the one that's carrying on the Caliente's line at the moment, and she hasn't had any other children. She's got 3 bolts with Alexander Goff, which is quite interesting. I'm not convinced about that. He was her stepson for quite a while. Neither of the boys have part-time jobs, and Richard is doing really badly in school. He's a D student. And he's got a current want to join the criminal career, so that's interesting. But that is the Goff family. They have only got 1,800 left, but I believe Dina's got some money in her bank account. Let me have a quick look. Maybe she spent it all. I can't actually remember. No, she's got 25k in her bank account, so she has managed to save a little bit. Okay, there's not much to see, but we will pop in and see how Nina Caliente is getting on. Nina is also 43 years old now. She's had no kids, never got married, hasn't been in a long-term relationship with anybody. She's just been living out her romance sim life. And she's a secondary pleasure. So here is Nina. And it's nice that she rekindled her relationship with her sister again. There's Nina. Very pretty. So her lifetime want is to woohoo with 20 different sims. I think she has definitely surpassed the 10 mark. So she's on her way. She's in love with Dirk Dreamer. She has woohooed with Thomas. I think he's a gardener or something. I'm not 100% sure. She's best friends with Bella and Dina, which is interesting because obviously they both used to be married to Mortimer. She's best friends with Travis Newby, who she used to see romantically, but he's now married to Brandy. She was in love with Cooper, who I think was a work colleague. She's best friends with Malcolm, and I think she did sleep with Malcolm. Best friends with Brandy. best friends and in love with Daniel Pleasant, who's married to Kaylin Langerak now, so he's not available. Best friends with Jeff Batchelor, who's married to Bella, and she also slept with him. And she obviously slept with Don. So, and she's not very good friends with Cassandra or Kaylin. She just likes the husbands. She lived next door to the burglar, Gordon King. Absolutely hated him because he kept playing his stereo really loud, which is fair enough. I know her hot tub doesn't fit here, but she needed this love tub. So I had to squeeze it in. And this is her little apartment. She doesn't need much more than this, but I would like her to have a family and have kids, but I don't know if it's on the cards for her. She is in a stacker career and she's a level 4. Occasionally she rolls once to do skills, so she has got a few promotions. She's been quite lucky, but I don't think she's going to reach the top of that career. She is a Scorpio, and she is a secondary pleasure. Yeah, I did say that. Yeah, so it's she's fun to play, but I would like to see her move on in life. That would be interesting. But yeah, not much else to see for her, so we will leave it there. The next family I tend to play in the rotation is Brandy Broke. Brandy used to live in a trailer park, but now her son Dustin lives there, and we'll go along to those in a bit. So she actually moved out. She's out of the trailer park. She's moved in with her husband. I'm just trying to work out where she lives. There she is. They literally bought this house at the end of the last round. She took ages to find love. Absolutely ages. She was in love with Darren Dreamer. That didn't work out. She was actually engaged to him at one point, but his wife, Darlene, got resurrected by Dirk, who used the lamp, the magic genie lamp. And so when his wife was resurrected, he couldn't, not be with her. So he called off the engagement to Brandy, which broke her heart. She was absolutely devastated by that. And she took ages to find love. At one point, she was close to going out with Malcolm. They had a little thing, but he ended up getting married to Mary Sue, so that didn't pan out for her. But this is Brandy. Brandy is now 45 years old. And the dog is stuck in the pavement. There it is. They have a dog called Cookie. She married Travis, I think his name is Travis Chin, he's in a career. I think he was in the medical career. Yeah, because Don Lothario used to bring him home as a friend. So he's an intern level 4 in a medical career. And she's going out. She's married to him now. And they've got a couple of bolts together. They don't have any children together yet, but they both want to have a baby. So I don't know if Brandy will be able to get pregnant in her older years, but hopefully they'll have a child. He also did sleep with Nina and was involved with Nina for a bit, but he's called that off and they're just friends now. And he's friends with Don, best friends with Don, because they work together. But other than that, he's friends with Jennifer Burb as well. But that's it, really. He's nothing really to say too much about him. He's a fortune sim, wants to reach the top of his career. He does want to have 3 kids on a high level. Don't think he's going to get 3 kids with Brandy, but you never know. And he is a secondary family sim, so makes sense. I might give him a college degree, actually, because he's in medical career, so I'll do that. Brandy is a family sim. She wants to graduate 3 kids from college. Dustin did not go to college, so she's going to have another baby if she wants to get that lifetime want. Obviously, she married Travis. She's best friends with both her kids, and she's not really friendly with Dustin at the moment. He keeps phoning her, and so they're slowly building their friendship, but it obviously wasn't there for a while. And she's best friends with Dina Goth, Bella Batchelor, Malcolm, who she was romantically involved with momentarily. I thought they were going to get together, but they didn't. Nina Caliente, she definitely woohooed with him as well. Don, who she did woohoo with whilst he was married to Cassandra, sadly. And that's probably the most significant relationships for her. It took ages. I thought she might go with Trent Traveller, and then I realised his wife. But yeah, she just kept liking married people. So obviously she had Dustin, who's moved out. We'll get to him. And then she has Beau. Beau's still a teen at the moment, but he's about 21. My teen, I like to play with a little bit longer with my teens, so they don't actually age up to young adults or adults till they're 23. So my aging system is not quite a 1 year, 1 day thing, but it's near enough. Then we have her unborn baby, who was a girl. So there's no Bobby Broke in my game, and she is Skipper Broke. Oh, by the way, Beau is a popularity sim, and he wants to become the general. So we might start a military sub-hub district, and he is dating. Well, no, he's not. Lucy Burb has got around a bit in my game, and he is one of Lucy's guys that she keeps on the back burner when she needs a bit of attention every now and again. So he's in love with her, but many other guys are. He's best friends with his brother. He's best friends with Sophie Miguel, Angela Pleasant, Conrad Oldie, Lee Oldie. He's another adopted child of the Oldies. He's best friends with Rhiannon Burb. And he's, yeah, that's about it, really. But I don't think him and Lucy Burb are going to work out. I just can't. I don't know. It might do. It might do. She's going to have to pick one. But Lucy's in college at the moment. And Skipper is a fortune sim. She actually wants a job. Oh, my gosh. She wants to become the law. So she currently wants jobs in journalism and business. But, I don't know. She can do a teen job if she wants. She's a B+ student. Beau is an A+ student. And Skipper is in a relationship with Ricky Cormier, who also lives in the orphanage. And she's best friends with Maximilian Goth, Adriana Lothario. She's friends with Angela, Leoldi. She's nearly friends with her brother. She's friends and best friends with Rhiannon Burb. So, yeah, she's got a few friends, which is nice. She's doing okay in school. And they don't have secondaries, of course. And so, yeah, both Beau, all three of Brandy's kids have got the blonde hair. And it doesn't look like that they've got Brandy's eyes, because Brandy's got kind of like grey eyes, isn't she? Whereas Skipper's got, what are they, dark blue, and Beau has got dark blue. So Beau and Skipper are very similar, actually, in what they look like. And they've literally just moved into this house, so there is nothing really in here, just a few belongings, but the house was furnished, so I just need to go through and sort it out, really. I just put the dog stuff in, and that was it. But yeah, they've literally just moved in, and they've spent all of their money. They've got £2,000 to their name, but I'm pleased that she's out of the trailer park and she's got her own home and she's got a husband, and hopefully a baby will come. If not, I think they would adopt, because Brandy's such a family sim. I think she would have another kid one way or another. So I usually play the Dreamer family right now, but I think we'll pop over and check in on Dustin. Dustin is still in the criminal career. And Angela has just moved in with him. When Brandy left, he used to live in the flop house, and when Brandy left to buy her own home, she gave the trailer to Dustin, who could just about afford it. But when Angela moved in, she was given $45,000 by her mum, Mary Sue, and her stepdad, Malcolm Landgrab. And so they decorated the trailer, extended the porch, added a little garden part to it. So this is Brandy Broke's old trailer, which Dustin now lives in. Dustin is currently 30 and Angela is 29. So Dustin didn't go to college. He wants to have a $100,000 mansion, perfect garden, all the hired help. He's still in the criminal career. Unfortunately, he's only a level 3. He's not doing too well at the moment. And he has cheated on Angela as well, sadly. He's currently, I don't know why they're still going steady. I mean, I guess, but they're both adults. He's best friends with Lilith, so Angela and Lilith still don't get along, but he's best friends with her. He's best friends with his brother Beau. He's best friends and crushing and has slept with Kaylin Langrak. Well, Kaylin Pleasant now, because that's Daniel's wife, so it's kind of Angela's stepmother-ish, but it's his father-in-law's wife, so he's been bad. He slept with her. Christy, he's best friends with Gordon King. Oh dear. And he's friends with Lucy Burb. So that's him. And he also is romancing this townie, I think. Ivy Kapoor, he's trying to. So he's definitely cheating. He's a secondary romance. So he and Angela may not live in wedded. Well, they're not wedded. They're not even engaged. But they might not live in bliss for very long. They have a cat called Snow. That is Angela's cat. She brought it with her when she moved in. And then Angela is a popularity sim. She likes gardening. That's her one true hobby. She's a teacher, level 2 in the education career. And she is a secondary knowledge. So she might do well in her career. And Dustin is, he has a cow plant because he has the nature hobby and he rolled to have a cow plant. So that's why he's got that. But yeah, the redemption arc for Dustin is not coming true in my game. He's still in the criminal career. He's cheating on Angela. It's not going well, but I'm hoping things will turn around. They're not engaged, they're not married, don't have any kids yet, but she just moved in, so who knows what will happen with them. Okay, now we'll pop over to the Dreamers. As I said, Darlene Dreamer was resurrected when Dirk found a magic lamp. He wished for his mother to come back. And at that point in time, Darren was engaged to Brandy Broke, and they literally had the wedding planned. It was going to happen on the Sunday, and she was going to move in to line up all the ages, and then Darlene got resurrected, and that changed everything. So this is the Dreamer house. Not much has changed, just added a bit of a driveway on the outside. Inside, we've done a little bit of redecorating some of the rooms. We have Darren over here. Here is Darren. He hasn't got his glasses on for his sleepwear, but he does normally have his glasses. He is one of our older Sims now, because a lot of the older ones have died off, so he's one of the oldest. He's 52. He wants to become chief of staff, but he's unemployed because he does his art. He went to medical career job for like a day, and then he was like, nah, I want to quit. I gave him a college degree. And he's a secondary family man, so that's nice. And yeah, he has no job, but he's making decent money from painting. He's maxed his creativity skill. He's back with Darlene after she got resurrected. They got remarried. They had a little wedding in the back garden. Oh, she wants to have a baby. Oh, kind of want to keep the skill points locked in for a job. I don't know if they should have another kid. They're getting a bit old. I'm going to leave it because it's just a tour video. I'll decide it when I actually record. She is in the oceanography career. She's a level 5. If she gets those skills, she can go up to level 6, which would be nice. Her lifetime want is to marry off 6 kids. Oh, I better lock that baby in. She's secondary knowledge, so she should roll the wants. I think she's knowledge, yeah. Secondary knowledge, so she should roll the wants. But Darren, yes, best friends with his 2 sons, friends with his daughter. He's best friends with Lilith because Lilith was here all the time when she used to go out with Dirk. They're not together anymore because Lilith is actually gay. He's friends with Christy Stratton. He's in love with Cassandra Lothario still, but they both know that they're married, they've got their own families, it's not happening. Cassandra might have changed her mind on that now that she's found out Don's cheating, but he's very devoted to his wife, Darlene, which is very sweet. And he's got 3 bolts with Brandy, and they were a very cute couple, but it wasn't meant to be. Darlene is best friends with her 2 sons, which is cute, and friends with her daughter. Best friends with Caleb Pleasant. Tries to steer her down the path of right and narrow, but it doesn't always work. Yeah, that's pretty much all to say about her. And then Dirk's just returned from college. He did graduate. Oh, he's very fit. His fitness is all the way to the top. He was going out with oh, this lady's got no hair. He was going out with Lilith, but they broke it up because Lilith realised she was gay, and he's totally fine with that. They're still best friends, although we knew we need to work on this quite a lot. He didn't really talk to her much when he was at college, but he's friends with Angela. Maybe he and Angela could get together if she doesn't work out with Dustin. But he did see a girl whilst he was in uni, Jade Trimble, who's got no hair at the moment, so we have to fix that. And he's friends with the gardener. I think this guy's a gardener. I'm not 100% sure. And he's in love with Nina, which I don't think I want to pursue. But yeah, they're in love. He lived in the flop house for a tiny little bit of time whilst I was letting the rest of the world move by whilst he was supposedly at college time-wise. So he, met her through that. And he also wants to be in a medical career. He wants to take after his father's lifetime want. Not that his father actually did anything, but he's just come back from uni, so he hasn't actually got a job yet. And he is a secondary knowledge, primary fortune, which works out quite well. Then Darren and Darlene's middle son is Dylan Dreamer. Dylan wants to grow up. He is currently, I should tell you, Dirk is 31 and Dylan is 11 and Danielle, the youngest, is 11. So it's quite a big age gap between the kids, but I think, Darlene being resurrected whilst Dirk was a late teenager probably accounts for that. Dylan is a C+ in school, and he is friends with Tina Traveller and Rosanna Goff. I never really make plans for who's going to marry who. Never any hard and fast plans, but Rosanna is an option for him because they're not related as far as I know. But also Tina could be an option for him in the future. If he turns out to be straight, we don't know. Yeah, C+ in school. Nothing really much to say about him, but he's cute. I think he's got his dad's eyes. I think he's got blue eyes. Darren. Let's have a little look at your eyes, Darren. Yeah, he's got blue eyes. And then the youngest of the family is Danielle. Where's Danielle? There she is. Danielle's the newest baby in the family. Well, she's 4, so she's going to age up soon to a child. But there's little Danielle. Very cute. She looks very much like Dylan, actually. They look almost the same. I do roll pacifier and, I have Lady Duchess launcher, so Yeah, that all gets sorted. And Danielle is in aspiration. Red at the moment, which is not good. She's a toddler. She's got 3 charisma skill points, but she hasn't learnt any of her main skills yet, which is a bit sad. And she's friends with her mum and dad, which is adorable. And they have a little dog called Dee Dee. Wherever Dee Dee is, there's Dee Dee. Little puppy called Dee Dee. I don't know who these randos are outside, but that's fine. They're leaving now. But yeah, Darren does paint and he does earn a decent amount of money. They got 1,800, but I believe they also have money in bank accounts, so they're not doing too badly. And Dirk's back home now after uni. He might move back out on his own if he wants to. He wants to marry a rich sim, so I don't really know who that could be. Somebody in my comments suggested Mary Sue, but she's already married, so I don't know. I don't know about that. But that's the Dreamers. Very wholesome. It's a shame about Darren and Brandy, but that was just the way it went. Next up, we have the Pleasants. Well, the old Pleasant house is now the Landgrab house because Mary Sue has married Malcolm Landgrab. But we still have Angela. Oh, well, Angela shouldn't be there. She left. I don't know why she's there in the portrait. It will update. But Lilith Sue is still at home. Neither Angela nor Lilith went to university. So they just aged straight up to adults. Okay, so Lilith is out on the porch. I don't know why. We've got Mary Sue. Where is she? Everyone's in their pyjamas. I do apologise. Next time I'll record this at a better time of day. Here is Mary Sue. Absolutely adorable. She had a bit of a glow up after Daniel left. She went out and got new hairstyle, new clothes, new makeup and stuff. But she's adorable. There's Mary Sue. Mary Sue is a fortune sim. She wants to earn 100,000. I don't know how close she is to that. She has got money in her bank. So they've got a household fund of 30, but she's got she's got loads in her bank account, I think. She has got 65 in her bank account, near enough. She did get a degree. She's a council member level 5, very close to going up to level 6. In fact, I'm sure she was a level 7, so that's a bit confusing. That's really confusing. I'm sure she was a level 7, but anyway, she's going to go woohoo with Malcolm. Before you woohoo Malcolm, this is Malcolm Landgrab, who is Mary Sue's second husband, and they're very, very happy together. Let's just have a quick look at Mary Sue's. Here we go. Mary Sue is married to him. She's best friends with her daughter, Angela. Not very close to Lilith at all. She's best friends with Cassandra. Best friends with Daniel. They're actually quite amicable after the divorce. And friends with Christy Stratton. That's about it for her. And she is a secondary pleasure sim, which is kind of interesting. Malcolm is fortune, obviously. He now owns another business. He owns J'adore Bakery along with Club Dante and whatever it is he owns. He owns a couple of furniture stores, doesn't he? Or something. But he's got 3 businesses now. He is a secondary popularity. He had an affair with Kaylin. Kaylin's still causing trouble. Basically, Kaylin could break up Mary Sue's second marriage as well as her first. But we'll have to see what happens there. Yeah, he's married to Mary Sue. He's friends with Leoldi. He's in love with Kaylin. He's in love with Dina. He's also woohooed with Nina. They called it off at the moment. They're best friends. Brandy, I think he did woohoo with her at some point, but she's moved on. He's moved on. So he's friends with Angela. That's about it. So I don't know if this is going to be a happy marriage, but they're happy at the moment. He's unemployed because he runs his businesses. Yeah. And so then we have Lilith in the house. Lilith has not decided to move out. She doesn't really want to. She likes living under this roof. She hates the people, but she likes the money and the laziness that she can have. She doesn't want to get a job. She's unemployed, never wanted to get a job. She wants to become a cult leader though. So she's best friends with Leoldi. Best friends with Dustin Broke, Sophie Miguel, Alexander Goth, Darren Dreamer, Daniel. She's really close to her dad, but so she might move in with her dad at some point. I don't know. Friends with Ricky Cormier, but never wanted to get a job. Doesn't have a relationship. She's gay, and there's nobody really to pair her up with at the moment. And she didn't go to college, so she hasn't really met anyone yet, which is really sad. Very sad for Lilith. Right, and then in the house, I have to go to the family tree to explain this. So Mary Sue is married to Malcolm. She had her 2 kids, Lilith and Angela, with Daniel. Malcolm and her had a daughter called Matilda. Let's jump to her. She's a little unfortunate looking at the moment. She's not that bad, but yeah, I don't know. Matilda's only just been born, so she's 3 years old. And she's not really friends with anyone. She don't really know anyone. She's only just aged up to a toddler, to be fair. Lilith is 29, by the way. Mary Sue is 49 and Malcolm is 44. But let's go back to the family tree to explain the other two residents of the house. So, yeah, that explains those three. And then Mary Sue's parents are Herb and Coral Oldie, who passed away. But before that, they adopted two boys. Lee Oldie, who's now an adult. So he's Mary Sue's adoptive brother. And Conrad Oldie, who's a teen. But when Herb and Coral died, both Conrad and Lee were teenagers, so they couldn't live alone. She wouldn't see them in the orphanage, so she let them move in. Lee did not want to go to university, so he has just aged up in the house. He might move out, I don't know. He wants to become an ecological guru. He's a rat keeper level 1 in that career at the moment. I don't have any preventions of people getting to the top of the career. They're not capped by having a degree or not in my game. And also I play with a mod called the University of Life mod, so if he does well in his career, he will actually unlock 1 slots eventually. He is another victim of Lucy Burb, I want to say. I actually really like Lucy. I don't mean it in a nasty way. She just likes a lot of boys. So he's also going steady, even though they're both, well, she's a young adult, he's an adult now. Yeah, he's still really into Lucy. Best friends with Conrad, who's his adopted brother. Lilith, who's his niece, I think. Yeah, niece, yeah. Friends with Malcolm. Best friends with Alexander Goff. Friends with Skipper Broke. Best friends with Bo. Yeah, he's got quite a lot of friends. And then Conrad is the other adopted child. So Mary Sue's brother. He's best friends with Lee. He is in a relationship with Rhiannon Burb, and they're going steady and they're quite happy together, which is quite cute. Best friends with Bo Broke. And friends with Victor Lothario. He is a pleasure sim, which he's the first primary pleasure sim I have. He's a C student. Lee finished school. He's a knowledge sim, secondary family, which is nice. So I'm hoping, I would like Lee and Rhiannon Burb to settle down together. I think they'd be cute together. And Conrad and Rhiannon would be very cute as well. So both brothers could go out with the sisters, which would be very cute. And then obviously we have Matilda, who I explained. Aw, she's hugging her teddy bear. How sweet. Okay, and then we have the Burbs. John and Jennifer are still together, married happily after 20 years together, have had a bunch of children, as they usually do. John is 45, Jennifer is 42. Lucy's off at college. She's their eldest. She's 23, just aged up to a young adult and gone off to uni. She's just was very lucky getting into uni. She didn't have the grade, but she was the top of her teen career, so she was allowed. Okay, so ignore the pink soup, but here's John Burb, looking still pretty good for being, what's he, 45? Yeah, 45. John wants to spend 200 hours teaching others. He's a family sim. He's not really done that, to be honest. He wants to have 10 kids. We'll lock in the promotion for him. He's an elementary school teacher level 4. He kind of begrudgingly got a job because the family was struggling financially and still are. So he gave up. He was a house husband doing his gardening, but he gave that up to go to work and help earn for the family. He is a secondary knowledge sim, so that's good for career progression. Like I say, he's only level 4, but he hasn't been working his whole adult life. I'll show you the family tree quick, if it's not going to be too pink. Sorry about that. We've got John and Jennifer. Jennifer's obviously Daniel's sister, so she's the aunt of Angela and Lilith. And also Marie, I guess, because Daniel remarried and had a kid. So she's got three nieces. And then her and John had Lucy, Rhiannon, Olivia, twins, Nicholas and Natalie, and then Venus, who's just literally been born. And John... I think that's it, basically, yeah. So that's John. Let's have a look at his relationship. He's never cheated, never strayed from Jennifer. He is best friends with his daughter Rhiannon. Best friends with Bella. Quite friendly with Darlene. Not quite friends, though. That's about it. He's basically been at home, though. He hasn't really strayed outside the house a lot, apart from to go to work. Then we have Jennifer, who has been pregnant a lot, but has made it to the level 7 of the business career. She wants to reach level 10. She's done so well considering she's had so many kids and been pregnant for so long. She is best friends with her son Nicholas, her husband, her daughter Rhiannon, the dog. Bella is one of her best friends. She's friends with Lucy, her daughter. She's never strayed from John either. They've been a solid couple, never even looked another sim in the eye. Quite a lot of people have taken a shine to Jennifer as well, but she's never strayed. So she could get promoted to level 8, which would be awesome. and she is a secondary pleasure sim. I don't actually mind the secondary pleasures. That doesn't worry me. The primary is a little difficult, but yeah. And then we have the second oldest, because obviously Lucy's at college, Rhiannon Burb, who is one of my favourite born-in-game sims. As I said before, she's dating Conrad Oldie and they're quite happy. She's got a bunch of friends and yeah, she's got quite a few friends actually, which is nice. She's a family sim. She wants to graduate 3 kids from college, and I'm sure if her and Conrad stay together, they'll have kids. She's a B student at school. No idea if she's going to go to uni or anything like that. She hasn't got a part-time job, but she's got a few skills, so she's doing well. And then we have Olivia, who's just aged up to 18. She's really pretty. I really like her too. She's a knowledge sim and wants to become the top of the entertainment career. Prestidigitator. I never know how to say that. She's an A+ student. She's got a lot of logic skill. And she's gay as well, actually. Yeah, she's gay, but she can't go out with Lilith because there's quite a big age gap between them. So I'll tell you the ages for this family. John and Jennifer are 45 and 42. Lucy's 23. Rhiannon is 18. Olivia is 13. And Lilith is like 29. So that's not going to work, in case you thought about that. Natalie and Nicholas are 11, and Venus hasn't had their first birthday yet. I don't know if this family will reach the 10 kids that Jonathan and Jennifer want, but they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's doing all right. He might get there. Who knows? I don't cap number of pregnancies at the moment or births at the moment. It may be something I do in the future for Pleasantview, but at the moment they can have as many kids as they want. Or I just decide I don't want them to have more kids myself through my own thoughts about the family. But anyway, yeah, she's not seeing anyone and there's no one really for her to see yet. But there are some people, well, I was hoping like one of the orphanage would, we just had a bunch of age ups, so hoping one of them would be gay, but nope. There's not really anyone until perhaps she goes to college herself. But she's only just turned into a teen, she's only 13, so we got time yet. And here's Olivia. This is Natalie, who you couldn't see because she was pinked out. She wants to grow up. They are 11, so they're going to have their birthdays in a couple of days. She's an A- student, and Nicholas is a B+ student. He's her twin. He's got blonde hair and brown eyes, and she has brown hair and blue eyes, so they are definitely not identical. And Nicholas, nothing really to say about him. He's friends with Marie Langrag. They could eventually go out together. I don't think they're related. No, they are. They are, because his uncle... Oh no, his uncle is Marie's stepfather, so they're not biologically related. So they could date in the future, I don't know. But yeah, that's him. B+, got a few logic points. Nothing too special there. And then the little baby who's just been born, who was born with an alien skin by accident. Some CC that had not been quite right. She has got no alien DNA in her at all, but she now has a human skin, and this is Venus. And I named her Venus because she had an alien skin and I thought it was cute. And little baby Venus has not had her first birthday yet. This is the Burbs' house from the outside, and then they haven't had a lot of money at all, so it's very basically furnished because they've had nothing really, this family. It's been a real struggle for them. This is the teenage girl's room. This is where the twins sleep, and then we have Venus in with the parents. And John's got his little garden out here that he barely has time to look after. Okay, so next up we have Bella Goth, who is back to being Bella Bachelor, because when she came back to Pleasantview, she found that Mortimer had married Dina, and so she changed her name back to Bachelor. She doesn't have a lot of memories of her life before she got abducted. She doesn't really remember what happened when she was away. She just kind of got dumped back in Pleasantview. She's rekindled her relationship with Mortimer and had a child by him, but then he passed away, unfortunately. And he was still married to Dina the whole time. They did it in secret. And she has got her relationships back with her son and daughter, Cassandra and Alex, but it's never been quite the same. But the police officer who found her, Jeff, helped her when she returned to Pleasantview with no memories. He was the police officer, and he helped her get her life back into order and got her a place at the Flop House where he lived, and then they fell in love. But they are both romance sims, so... it may be an open marriage. I'm not sure at this stage. We'll cover Jeff quickly. He's a romance sim. He wants to become a Hall of Famer. He was in that job, but he got fired. And now I think he's probably go back into law enforcement because that's what he was doing originally. He was just the NPC policeman. He is a secondary family, and both of them are romance secondary families, which is interesting. So yeah, Bella is a romance sim. She wants to have 6 grandkids. She's already got 3, I think. And she is in the Slacker career, level 7, hopefully going up to level 8 at some point. We'll have a look at the family tree. They have one biological child together, Amelia, and then Bella had another child with Mortimer just before he died, Rosanna, but Jeff raises her as his own. And then obviously Bella has her 2 kids, Cassandra and Alex, with Mortimer previously. And she has 3 grandchildren, Adriana, Victor, and Leonardo. So she's halfway there to a lifetime one. But yeah, her daughter, Rosanna, is Mortimer's child, but Jeff raises her as his own. Rosanna is a C student. She's got quite a lot of friends, but they've started to age up, actually. So Marsha Brunegg, Brittany Parker, and Chandler have all aged up to teens. She's still friends with Dylan Dreamer, and I think, yeah, they're not related in any way that I can think of, so they could get together in the future. Maybe, who knows? I don't really hardcore plan it. It just happens as it happens. And then here is Amelia, who is Jeff and Bella's daughter, and she's also got an interesting face, just like Malcolm and Mary Sue's daughter. We'll see what becomes of her. Amelia is 3 years old, Rosanna is 11, Jeff is 46, and Bella is 50. Bella's a little bit younger. There was like a whole age issue when she was away. She didn't age, so her daughter is like Cass is like 45, and Bella's only like 50. But you know, whatever happened to Bella was weird. Rosanna, yeah, we covered Rosanna. Bella is married and she is happy with Jeff, but she's best friends with Nina, best friends with Cassandra, best friends with Brandy. She's in love with Daniel and they've slept together and continue to do so. She's best friends with Gordon. He lived in the same apartments as her. Best friends with Jennifer Burb, friends with Dawn, and they have insane chemistry, but they haven't acted on it. Kia was her landlady. She's best friends with Alex, her son, and best friends with John Burb. So that's her. Apart from really Malcolm, she hasn't... Sorry, Daniel, and Don. No, not Don. Apart from really just Daniel, she's not really cheating on Jeff actively at the moment. Jeff was seeing Nina for a bit, they're not anymore. He's not really got anyone else on the cards right now. So they might stay together and not cheat. They might be open. I don't know what's going to happen. But that's her, and I'll show you her house quickly. She's only just moved in here. She got big fat reward money from a chance card. She got like 50k from a chance card, so she bought this house because she was living in the flop house. But she was in the flop house, then she had a little apartment, and now she's here. This is her home, and that's the bedroom. Toilet, the nursery, and this is Rosanna's room, spare room, and then I have a little patio out here. Nothing too fancy, but it's a nice house for them. I'll quickly show you Alexander Goff because we've just seen Bella. He lives on his own. He's just returned from university. He's 31 years old. Yeah, my Sims age up to young adults of 23 and go to college for 8 days, making them a 31 when they come back. If not, they age up to an adult. Oh, I don't know why there's so many people here, but there is. And Alex has got his top off. But this is Alex's little house. He bought this with his inheritance money when he came back from university. A nice little home for him. This is upstairs. It's only just lightly furnished because he's literally just moved in. We haven't even played him in this house yet. This is the kitchen, and then here's his living room. So Alex is a fortune sim, and he is a secondary knowledge. He's unemployed at the moment because he's just come back from uni. He wants to be self-employed, top business with max skill badge, sales, restocking, register. I don't know if we'll do that. I don't know. He had a relationship whilst at uni with Trista Barr, but he also pre-uni had a relationship with Lucy Burb, and he's still in love with her. He's best friends with his sister Cassandra, best friends with Leoldi, best friends with his mum Bella, best friends with Lilith Pleasant. If she was straight, they could be a couple, but she's not. And he's got a crush on Chrissy Stratton. They just woohooed randomly last time I played the orphanage. Don't even know why, but he could go out with her, I suppose. Yeah, unemployed, but he's got tons of skills from uni. Max logic, loads of creativity, cleaning, bit of mechanical, and one cooking. And he, said his secondary knowledge, which is good. So that's him. Yeah, and there he is. He usually wears glasses, but this is his sleepwear or swimwear. I'm not actually sure. I don't know why he's got these random people in his house at the moment, but maybe it's his welcome wagon. I'm not actually sure. But there you go. There is Alex, and I really hope he gets married. I do. I want him to have a family. It would be lovely. The last house is the orphanage. I'm not going to cover the university. There's only Lucy Burb there, and you've seen her. The last house is the orphanage. We have Christy Stratton. Christy is, how old is Christy? Christy's 37 years old. Tosha is 18. These are all sort of like Pleasantview townies. I added them into the orphanage so that they had, a chance to kind of like meet and mingle, make friends and date some of our Pleasantview townies, but also like we get to see their lives pan out. So we have Tosha Go here. We have Sophie Miguel just here. And then we have, I don't know what they're all arguing about, probably the bathroom space. Ricky Cormier, not sure how to pronounce his name. Chandler Platts is aged up to a teen. Marsha Brunegg is a teen now. There she is, so pretty. And then Brittany Parker is also a teen. She's pulling a bit of a funny face, but she's also very pretty. They were all turned out lovely. So Christy is a family sim, and she is a secondary fortune. She wants to get married. While she's running the orphanage, she's allowed to marry and have a partner move in, but she can't have any kids here in the orphanage because you need to keep the spaces for the kids. So she will have to move out if she does meet somebody. The only person is she's in love with Don Lothario. Oh, gosh, she's one of his many affairs. She's friends with Dustin, friends with Darren, friends with Mary Sue, friends with Kaylin. But she also randomly hooked up with Alex. They're friends, and he came over and they just woohooed. But yeah, so I don't know if that's going to go anywhere. But currently, no one else on the card. She doesn't have a job because she runs the orphanage. That is her job. Her lifetime want is to graduate 3 kids from college. She's having a bath right now, but I hope she can do that. We then have Tosha. These are all teens, so they don't have secondary aspirations. She's a family sim. She wants to reach golden anniversary, and I think we saw earlier that she's dating Maximilian and they're going steady. Then we have Sophie, who's a fortune sim. Sophie's got a part-time job. She's level 3 team mascot, so she's maxed her teen career, and she's a public school student B. Oh, Tosha was a C+, by the way. Sophie wants to become city planner. She isn't dating anyone at the moment. And then we have Ricky. Ricky's dating Brittany Parker, which is, they're not supposed to be because you're not supposed to have relationships with the other orphans, but Christy saw him kiss, so we'll have to see what happens there. He's also in love with Skipper Broke. So I don't know who he's been making out and woohooing with Brittany Parker, but he's also in love with Skipper, and I thought they were a cute couple, but he's a romance sim, so I don't know. Maybe Skipper should be free from him. He wants to have 20 simultaneous lovers. He's a public school B student. Yeah. Don't know what's going to happen here between Skipper and Brittany. Chandler is a romance sim as well. We've got 2 romance boys in this house. He's an A- student, and he has kissed and woohooed with Marsha, but nobody else at the moment. So maybe he'll stay with Marsha. She likes redheads, so they kind of work. They got a bit of chemistry. And then Marsha she wants to get abducted 20 times and learn from aliens. She's an A+ student. She's very studious. She's got a crush on Chandler, and like I said, they've kissed and woohooed. She's also got a crush on Victor Lothario, but it's one way. I don't know when this happened. At some point, they both had a crush, and the only time I noticed is when he lost his crush because she tried to do something and he didn't like it. So I don't know when that crush happened, but yeah, he does not reciprocate it anymore. And then we have Brittany is a fortune sim. She wants to have good vacations, and yeah, she's now in love with Ricky. He just has a crush on her, I think. Yeah, but she's in love with him. And he's already seeing Skipper, so that's going to cause some drama. These kids are, I'll tell you their ages. Tosh is 18, Ricky's 16, Sophie's 17, and then Marsha, Brittany and Chandler are the younger ones. They've just aged up. Marsha is 14, Brittany and Chandler are 13. So that is their ages. And that is the orphanage. I'll show you the lot. This is it from the outside. Got little playgrounds and stuff, and then on the inside, yeah, you can kind of get an overview of it. Marsha and Brittany share this room. Chandler and Ricky share this room, and Sophie and Tosha share this room. So that is that, and hopefully we will get some more orphans when these guys age up and move out, but we don't know. Depends what happens with Pleasantview. I've got some sims I can add in townies, but I would like to have some inborn game sims maybe come here. That would kind of be interesting. But that's it for Pleasantview. Apart from Lucy, who's in college. I hope you enjoyed having a look 20 years later what has happened. And yeah, the ages for these guys don't really add up to the 20 years because I didn't add this family until like round 3, round 4. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I hope you enjoyed seeing my Pleasantview 20 years later. I will definitely do another check-in probably in another 20 years maybe. And we'll see how things have progressed then. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.